Hi, kids. Welcome to Teacher Jean's e-classroom. And today we are going to have Science 6, Quarter 2, Week 2 and 3. It is about the integumentary and digestive system. At the end of the lesson, you're expected to 1. Identify parts of the integumentary and digestive systems. 2. Tell the function of each part. And 3. Explain how the organs in each system work together. Now let's have our review. Get ready with your notebook and your pen. All you have to do is just to write the letter of the correct answer on your notebook. Are you ready? If you are, then let's begin. Number 1. What system in the human body gives shape to the body? A. Circulatory. B. Digestive. C. Skeletal, or D. Respiratory. Number 2. How many bones are there in an adult body? A. 206, B. 250, C. 300, or D. 350. Number 3. Which activity is made possible by smooth muscles? A. Swimming, B. Digesting, C. Running, or D. Writing. Number 4. How do muscles and bones work together? A. They both work in coordinated ways. B. Muscles are attached to the bones, pulling on them to allow movement. C. The muscular and skeletal systems work together to support and protect the body. Or D. All of them. Number 5. Which of the following is an axial skeleton? A. Carpals, B. Phalanges, C. Radius, or D. Skull. Done with answers? Now let's check your work. You can check it for yourself or you can ask somebody else to check it for you. Ready? Let's go. What system in the human body gives shape to the body? The correct answer is letter C, skeletal. Number 2, how many bones are there in an adult body? The correct answer is A, 206. Number 3, which activity is made possible by smooth muscles? Correct answer is B, digesting. 4, how do muscles and bones work together? Correct answer is D, all of the above. And 5, which of the following is an axial skeleton? The correct answer is D, skull. Now let's move on to our topic for this week. First topic is the integumentary system. The integumentary system is the largest organ system of the body that forms a physical barrier between the external environment and the internal environment that it serves to protect and maintain. The integumentary system includes the skin, hair, nails, and glands. What are the functions of the integumentary system? Number 1, it acts as barrier from the outside environment. 2, it protects against invasion of infectious organisms. 3, protects the body from dehydration and abrupt changes in temperature. 4, helps in the production of vitamin D and stores water and fat. 5, acts as receptor for touch, pressure, pain, heat, and cold. And number 6, helps in disposing waste materials from the body. Here are the parts of the integumentary system. We have 5 parts: the skin, the hair, the nails, the sebaceous gland, and the Sudoriferous gland. First is the skin. It is the largest organ in the human body and accounts for about 15% of your total body weight. It is the first defense against harmful organisms that may enter your body. That is why if you get wounded, we make sure that we clean the wound and you make sure that we clean the skin so that if there is a cut in the skin, there's an opening in the skin, probably the microorganisms, the bacteria may get inside the body. So what what we should do when there is a cut, we should clean it. Then afterwards, we put some bandage to keep it away from the germs or the bacteria that may get inside of it. Next is the hair. The hair is found nearly all of the regions of the skin except the palms, soles of the feet, and some parts of the genitals. Hair grows from hair follicles that are part of the epidermis. Next are the nails. Nails are located on the end of each distal phalanx, each finger, and each toe. They protect the phalanges from trauma and provide mechanical support for manipulating objects. So our nails are not just there for decoration, but there are purposes for our nails. It helps us do mechanical activities, and it also protects the phalanges when there is trauma. Because if you have noticed, you cannot feel anything with your nails. Okay, so like for example, if something hard hits on your nails, it doesn't make you feel pained that much. That is why it protects you from trauma. Now is the sebaceous gland. It's an oil gland that is made of modified cuboidal and epithelium and occurs all over the body except the palm and the sole. This sebaceous gland is attached to each hair follicle so that the sebum can be secreted into the hair root. Lastly is the sudoriferous gland or sweat gland. Secretes sweat to promote evaporation. It is found all over the body except the lips, nipples, and external genitalia. It is referred to the tubular gland where there is a long tube coiled in the dermis layer and uses a long duct to release into the skin surface through a pore sweat. So here are the three layers of the skin. The skin is made up of the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous tissue. For our epidermis, it is the outer layer of the skin which acts as a seamless waterproof barrier to the external environment and prevents excessive water loss from the body. The second layer is the dermis. It's the layer of the skin that lies beneath the epidermis and above the subcutaneous layer. It is the thickest layer of the skin and is made up of fibrous and elastic tissue. Thus, it provides strength and flexibility to the skin. The last layer of the skin is the subcutaneous tissue. This is the deepest layer of the skin. It's made up mostly of fat cells and connective tissue. The majority of your body fat is stored here. The subcutaneous layer acts as a layer of insulation to protect your internal organs and muscles from shock and changes in temperature. Let's move on to the hair. The hair serves as mechanical protection for the skin. It increases sensory function and aids in regulating body temperature. Erector pili muscles located in the dermis attach to hair follicles, helping the shaft to stand and trap air close to the epidermis for temperature control. So maybe sometimes you may notice that if the air gets cold, the hair on your skin stands up. You may have goosebumps because of that event, or sometimes when you feel afraid, or like when you are horrified, you sometimes notice that your hair follicles on the skin are standing up, and sometimes you even feel that your hair on your head are also standing firm, so that it helps you get over that emotion. Now let's move to the nails. Your nails are located on your fingers and your toes. They help protect the top surface of your fingertips and the tips of your toes. Next is the sebaceous gland. The sebaceous glands are glands found in the skin. They secrete an oily substance called sebum, Latin meaning fat or tallow, that is made of fat lipids and the debris of dead fat producing cells. These glands exist in humans throughout the skin except in the palms of the hands and soles of the feet. There are some people who have sebaceous glands that excrete so much more oil, especially on the face. That is why they develop pimples or acne, especially if they don't wash their face that often. Most especially the adolescent people like you kids, the teenagers. So that is why you have to keep that hygiene, that you have to wash your face before you go to sleep. You wash your face so that you could get rid of the excess oil on your face or the sebum there that is produced by your sebaceous gland. Because if those oil in your on your face traps some dirt and it clogs your pores, you may develop some pimples, blackheads, whiteheads, and some other problems on your skin. So keep your face, keep your skin clean by washing it often. Not really very, very often, but at least twice a day. That would be good. Next is the sudoriferous gland. The sudoriferous glands are sweat-producing glands. These are important to help maintain body temperature. If you may notice that after sweating, like when you are running or jogging, and you feel that your body has become so hot because of the energy that is released in your muscles, after sweating out, you may feel relieved, you may feel cool. That is because of the sweat producing glands that help you maintain your body temperature. Next, we have our exercise. Let's try to do this exercise by matching column A with column B. So we have here in column A, we have nails, hair, sebaceous glands, sudoriferous glands, and skin. And in column B are the descriptions. I will give you time to read it and to do your activity, to answer it. Be careful when you answer. Okay, time for us to check your work. But if you're not yet done, you can just pause for a while, pause your video so that you may continue when you're done. Let's do the checking. So number 1, for the nails, the answer is D, provide mechanical support for manipulating objects. 2, hair is letter A, serves as mechanical protection for the skin, increases sensory function, and aids in regulating body temperature. 3, sebaceous glands. The correct answer is B, secrete an oily substance called sebum. 4, sudoriferous glands. Answer is E, sweat glands that help maintain body temperature. And 5, skin. It's letter C, largest organ in the human body that acts as a barrier to the external environment. Count the number of check marks, kids. If you got 5, wow, you're doing great. Doing amazing. Now let's continue with our digestive system. Our digestive system is made up of the following parts: the mouth, the salivary glands, the esophagus, the stomach, the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, the large intestines, and then the small intestines, the rectum, the anus, and of course that little part there which is attached on the side, the appendix. The digestive system or your digestive system breaks down and absorbs nutrients from the food and liquids you consume to use for important things like energy, growth, and repairing cells. The hollow organs that make up the GI, what's the GI? Okay, that's gastrointestinal tract, are the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine, as well as the anus. The liver, pancreas, and gallbladder are the solid organs which are parts of our digestive system. Let's start with the mouth. The mouth or oral cavity is the first part of the digestive tract. It is adapted to receive food by ingestion. It breaks into smaller or small particles by mastication and mix it with saliva. The lips, cheeks, and palate form the boundaries. The oral cavity contains the teeth and the tongue and receives secretions from the salivary glands. So in the mouth, it is where the first part of digestion occurs, where the food that you eat, when you chew it with your teeth and it's mixed with the saliva, it is stored into smaller particles. You have the salivary glands. The salivary glands play an important role in digestion because they make saliva. Saliva or your laway helps moisten food so we can swallow it more easily. It also has an enzyme called amylase that makes it easier for the stomach to break down starches in food. Saliva also has an important role in our oral health. Next is the esophagus. The esophagus is the muscular tube that carries food and liquids from your mouth to the stomach. You may not be aware of your esophagus until you swallow something too large, too hot, or too cold. You may also notice it when something is wrong. You may feel pain or have trouble swallowing if you eat something too large or too hot or too cold. Next is the stomach. The stomach is a muscular organ located on the left side of the upper abdomen. The stomach receives food from the esophagus. As food reaches the end of the esophagus, it enters the stomach through a muscular valve called the lower esophageal sphincter, where most of the absorption of nutrients from food takes place. The stomach secretes acid and enzymes that digest food. But you have to be very, very careful with not to ruin your esophageal sphincter. Because if you do ruin it, the tendency is that the acid that is secreted in your stomach and the enzymes would go back and you would experience acid reflux. Next is the liver. The liver is the largest solid organ in the body. It removes toxins from the body's blood supply, maintains healthy blood sugar levels, regulates blood clotting, and performs hundreds of other vital functions. It is located beneath the rib cage in the right upper abdomen. You have to be very, very careful with the food that you eat because if you eat too much fatty food, it may cause your liver to become enlarged or to become fatty, that you would experience some difficulties in digestion. And also, when your liver has a problem or if it malfunctions, you may have a problem with the toxins in the body because it will not anymore be removed. And also, some people who are experiencing diabetes, they have also problems with their liver because the liver could not anymore control the blood sugar levels in the body. So see, the liver is very, very important to us. Next is the gallbladder. The gallbladder is a small pear-shaped organ that stores and releases bile. Bile is the fluid that your liver produces that helps digest fats. So this bile, this is the one that helps you get rid of your fats so that they may be digested and will not be stored in your liver. The gallbladder is located in the upper right part of your abdomen or belly. It sits just under your liver in the food that you eat. So if you want to take good care of your gallbladder and of your liver, avoid eating too much fatty food and too much salty food. And also avoid eating too much processed food and junk food. Next is the pancreas. During digestion, the pancreas makes pancreatic juices called enzymes. These enzymes break down sugars, fats, and starches. So your pancreas also help your digestive system by making hormones. These are chemical messengers that travel through your blood. The small intestine. The small intestine or small bowel is an organ in the gastrointestinal tract where most of the absorption of nutrients from food takes place. It lies between the stomach and large intestine and receives bile and pancreatic juice through the pancreatic duct to aid in digestion. So it is our small intestine that receives the nutrients or the substances that are coming from the stomach that are digested by the stomach. So from the stomach, it goes to the small intestines. And when it is well digested in the small intestines, it is absorbed in the walls of the small intestines and brought by the blood to the different parts of the body so that it will be used. But then if there are some parts of the food that are left undigested or partially digested, they go to the large intestine. This is the long tube-like organ that is connected to the small intestine at one end and the anus at the other end. The large intestine has four parts: the cecum, the colon, the rectum, and the anal canal. Partly digested food moves through the cecum until into the colon, where water and some nutrients and electrolytes are removed. Next is the rectum. The rectum is a straight 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus. The rectum's job is to receive stool from the colon, let you know that there is stool to be evacuated or pooped out, and to hold the stool until evacuation happens. This is very, very important. And you would be able to, I think you would be able to appreciate more your rectum when you're having diarrhea, because it is the one that controls your stool so that you won't poop just anywhere. Lastly, it's the anus. The anus is the opening at the far end of the digestive tract through which stool leaves the body. Lastly, the appendix. The appendix is the unknown, the function of the appendix is unknown. But there is one theory that the appendix acts as a storehouse for good bacteria, rebooting the digestive system after diarrheal illnesses. Other experts believe the appendix is just a useless remnant from our evolutionary past. But you know, this appendix, though it does not have any much function as of the study of our scientists. But then if this appendix would have a problem, it would cause you problem that you have to undergo surgery. So this is something that is attached to your body that has no much use, but if it malfunctions, it will really, really hurt you. You will have terrible stomach ache that you have to be brought to the hospital. You have to undergo surgery to remove it. But you know, when it is removed, it doesn't affect any part of your organs at all. Now let's exercise. Let's do exercise 2. Match the organs in column A with the appropriate description in column B. I will give you a minute to answer this one. Done answering? If you're done, then let's check your work. But if you're not yet done, just pause your video, and when you're done, you can do the checking. So here are our answers. Number 1, esophagus. It is D. It is a hollow muscular tube that carries food from the mouth to the stomach. 2, small intestine. The answer is F. It is where most of the absorption of nutrients from food takes place. 3, liver. The answer is E. It removes toxins from the body's blood supply and regulates sugar levels. 4, stomach. It's F, a muscular organ that secretes acid and enzymes to digest food. 5, large intestine. Answer is D. It removes toxins from the body's blood supply and regulates sugar levels. 6 is anus. Answer is A. It is the opening at the far end of the digestive tract where stool or feces is excreted. 7, mouth. C. It is where food is torn into smaller bits through the aid of saliva in mastification. Now for our assessment, choose the letter of the correct answer. But before we do that, please count the number of check marks you got in our activity 2 and try to examine yourself if you have mastered it. If not, then maybe you can pause or maybe you can have a review before you take the assessment. For number 1, all you have to do here is just to write the letter of the correct answer. 1, it is a straight 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus. A, rectum. B, large intestine. C, small intestine. Or D, esophagus. 2, it is an organ located beneath the rib cage at the right upper abdomen, which gets rid of toxins in the body. A, pancreas. B, appendix. C, liver. Or D, gallbladder. 3, it is the largest organ in the body that protects the body from harmful organisms so that they cannot get into the body, they cannot get inside. A, hair. B, skin. C, sebaceous glands. Or D, heart. 4, it is located in the fingers and toes that protects the phalanges from trauma. A, hair. B, skin. C, nail. C, pancreas. Or D, nail. 5, the sebaceous glands are found all over the body except in what? A, face and neck. B, chest and stomach. C, hands and fingers. D, palms and soles. Number 6, the following are functions of the integumentary system except A, acts as barrier from the outside environment. B, protects the body from dehydration and abrupt changes in temperature. C, transports water and nutrients to the cells. Or D, acts as a receptor for touch, pressure, pain, heat, and cold. 7, it helps break down food and moistens the food so that it can easily pass through the esophagus. A, sebum. B, saliva. C, sweat. Or D, bile. 8, it is a small pear-shaped organ that stores and releases bile. A, pancreas. B, liver. C, appendix. Or D, gallbladder. 9, it is the body system that breaks down and absorbs nutrients from the food and liquids you consume to use for important things like energy, growth, and repairing cells. A, integumentary. B, digestive. C, circulatory. Or D, muscular. And 10, what happens when the liver fails to work properly? A, blood wouldn't clot. B, sugar levels out of control. C, toxins may poison the body. Or D, all of the above. Now let's do the checking of the assessment. You're ready? Then let's do the checking. If you're not, just pause your video and continue answering. Okay? Let's start with number 1. It is a straight 8-inch chamber that connects the colon to the anus. Correct answer is A, rectum. 2, it is an organ located beneath the rib cage at the right upper abdomen, which gets rid of the toxins in the body. Correct answer is D, gallbladder. Sorry, it's not gallbladder. It's actually, wait, let's see. It's actually letter C, the liver, not the gallbladder. Let me correct it for a while. C, liver. Let's continue. 3, it is the largest organ in the body that protects the body from harmful organisms. The correct answer is B, skin. Number 4, it is located in the nails and toes that protects the phalanges from trauma. Correct answer is D, nail or nails. 5, the sebaceous glands are found all over the body except in what parts of the body? The palms and the soles. 6, the following are functions of the integumentary system except answer is letter C, transports water and nutrients to the cells, because this is the function of the circulatory system, not the integumentary system. 7, it helps break down the food and moistens the food so it can easily pass through the esophagus. The correct answer is B, saliva. 8, it is a small pear-shaped organ that stores and releases bile. The correct answer is gallbladder. 9, it is the body system that breaks down and absorbs nutrients from the food and liquids you consume to use for important things like energy, growth, and repairing cells. Correct answer is B, digestive. And 10, what happens when the liver fails to work properly? Correct answer is all of the above. Now let's move on to our assignment. Before we go there, count the number of check marks you got. And if you got 8, 9, or 10, that means you're doing amazing with this lesson and that you have mastered the lessons very well. But if you got below 8, that means you have to review our video and of course to redo our activities so that you can improve your mastery of the lesson. Now for your assignment, I want you to draw the digestive system and label its parts accordingly. So you need accuracy, you need creativity, you need cleanliness in doing this activity. Okay, the rubric will be written on our Google Classroom. So that's it for our class today, for our science class today, kids. I hope that you will do well in your studies, you do the activities properly, and that you stay safe, be happy, and enjoy life. This is your teacher, Jean. Bye-bye. See you on our next video episode on Teacher Jean's YouTube channel.